There we go. There we go. Why do they always default their their music so high? Music so loud. Let's see. Oh, we had to start the stream off with a song called Sailing on a Flying Boat. Don't you think so? Oh.
Right. As I recall, this is our basic laborer, right?
This is our basic laborer. So, man. So right now we're just kind of finalizing some pose information, and then we'll probably add more detail to it as we go. Because as far as this goes, this is still in the sketch kind of phase, if that makes sense, Growth.
Yeah. Well, part of it's inked, but
yeah, but that's
not
still
much.
Like that's still not finalized, if that makes any sense. Like it's midway through, I would say. Like this is the start of the inking process, but this is still subject to change, I should say.
1 second, I move us down. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nope, I hate it. Thanks.
The hands.
Yeah, well, I'm not particularly skilled with hands, and I like to think that I am, but I'm not. I'm not particularly skilled with a lot of things, Growth, and it's okay. Because this is about trying something new and learning things and getting outside of our comfort zone, wouldn't you say?
Yep.
Well, I like the flying boat. I'm gonna put a heart on that. Don't you love it? I love it.
Oh, I actually can't hear it because I have you turned down, so I don't hear it twice.
Every time. Every time, sir. Every time. Trying to get your opinion on music. Oh, I have you turned down. You should know better.
I should.
Why does this look different than I was expecting it to? What there? What is this? I won't wait for you. That's kind of cute. Okay. That's not bad. Yep, let's just break the whole finger. Try that motion again. Nope, I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. But you know, even on the days where I feel like I can't draw, Like, I do realize that there are people out there that actually can't draw.
Like me?
Yes. I'm like, I do realize that I do have some level of skill. The problem becomes, like, you know, wanting to do things and not being able to get them to look the way that you want. Like these fucking hands. You know? If I made that a little longer. No. It just doesn't look right to me. Something about this hand just does not look right.
I think the palm is too long.
Maybe if we brought the cuff a little lower. I think if we brought the cuff a little bit lower. Because up here is where the knuckles actually are. And you have like webbing between your fingers and things, which is more easily recognizable in the weird foreshortened hand. You know? Something about these fingers does not add up to me. Like the pinky, fine. Whatever. You know? I think I would like it probably better. It just seems like such an awkward angle to have the hand. So this sausage comes back here. This sausage and this little sausage. What if we did this? Still, this finger just seems so, you know, what if we did even just like that? Ugh. Hands, am I right? So, if no one's ever told you, drawing hands is like drawing an entire portrait, but they're just hands. Because that's just how hands go. There's just always fucking hands. Alright. Hands on hips. Man. Hands on hips, man! Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, let's open the image in a new tab. Alright, so we are going to do browser source. We're going to edit this.
Alright, I'll be right back. Just a second.
Okay, so
Oh,
I just did the thing, Kroll. Alright. We are gonna delete all of this right here. Okay. Alright. So this has wrist going up this way, thumb going back behind, with front of hand coming along the edge. Oop. Yay! Then having hand pointing this way. That.
Alright, one moment. But it looks like you got the right track going.
This should actually be. You should probably actually just be using the pencil for this part. So we have hand. Alright. So arm, arm, wrist. So across here. Actually, I think the box is more up, like that. Hands are difficult. It's those middle fingers again. Something about them.
Oh, right.
Hello.
Hello.
I hate it.
You usually do.
I know. I know I usually do. But I still hate it. Okay. Go back over here. Go back to our pen. That is not the right pen stroke. Thank you. There we go. Nope, too deep. Sort of trying to figure out what we're doing. Stick. Such a dick. Meow. That one's Dick. It's a huge sausage fingers. You know?
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine. That webbing. Humans are webbed. What can I say? Maybe it'll look better when I'm not like right all on top of it. Nope, still looks bad. I hate it. Okay.
I think it might be too wide.
I think it's just too large.
Just in general, too big?
I think so. Because if you put your heel of your palm at your chin, it doesn't even go up to the top of your head. And that's just straight on. So this guy, chin to the top of the head at an angle. He's got a fairly big noggin. He's got like this much, right? So I guess in proportion to his head, it's right. But it just looks weird.
It looks a little bit like Tinker, come to think of it.
Because it's weird?
No, just the pose in general and the hair, I think. Looks like the Tinker character.
I think I'm just gonna duplicate this real quick. Go back to black, thank you. Clear. Dupe. Okay. And hear me out. Right. But what if this hand was just a little bit bigger? Just a little bit bigger. Just like there. You know, just the slightest bit bigger. I think it works a little bit better. Okay.
Okay.
Because this one is foreshortened, so it's going to be smaller no matter what. Because that's just the way that hands work. However, it's not to say that it's going to be so tiny, you know? Because we still do have to have like a certain amount of like depth in among all of this. Oh, fuck my life, guys. I think maybe that coming in more shallow would help. Alright, so here. Because it's still going to be that sharp angle.
Maybe the wrist is coming in at the wrong angle, and that's what the problem is.
The wrist is like, you know, tilted like this. So it's going to be like a sharp, that kind of angle. Well, not maybe that sharp, but like that kind of angle, right? So that's kind of what we're aiming for up here. Is that the arm is coming in, and then the hand is coming out this way, which kind of puts the actual hand in a this sort of position, you know? And in that sort of position, you know? Where you're like seeing mostly the top, but you can also see the side, you know?
Yep.
And then over here where you can't see it is where the thumb comes in, and that's coming out and going over. It just also happens to be at the actual pivot point for the wrist. You can't see this. It's actually at the pivot point for the wrist where it connects. Is right here. So it's actually this sort of angle, but like upside down and backwards, if that makes sense. So he's kind of doing this around himself. This sort of. Maybe that's what I don't like about it. You know? Maybe that's what I just don't like about it. Okay. So it's coming in. This is the pivot point for the wrist, which leaves this sort of angle, which means this is the other side here, which would lead this to being more of a straight line down this way. Probably only see about this much of the hand here. You still follow this parallel line here, parallel line here. So the question would be like, if he's got square hands, squarish hands, but then how long are his hands? That would lead this to being the thumb right here. Doing that. This come down here. It's this. His webby come around this. Have that be your thumb.
Okay.
Up. Out, down. Out. Out. Because you're seeing more of the pinky because you're seeing multiple sides of it. this is out, down. So this one you're still seeing a lot more of the shape of it. It's gonna be chunkier. The whole thing is like without shading, like it just looks extra huge. But you have to remember like each of these is like a cylinder. So we're seeing each of these in this sort of shape. Right? And so
Yep.
like this let's not later, make a layer. So like this is a plane here, which would make this a plane here and this a plane here if the fingers stayed together. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Which means you would still see the side of this plane here, like that. And then this is also plane going that way. Let's see that. Leave me my fat fingers alone, people. You know? So it would be like that. Usually there's so here, but like more like here, and then here. This one you see less of the top of it. You see less of the side of it. Boop. Something like that. Then you see all of this. Ugh. So yeah, something along those lines. Because hands are hard. Hands are a portrait all unto themselves. And that even looks better than what we had before, don't you think?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, go back to our G pen. Fat. Hate it. Hate it. just looks like potatoes. Kroth, why are we potatoes?
I don't know.
That pinky looks weird. Trying not to get overly detailed. I still want it to look like his fingers are bent. So I don't know. He's got little fat rolls in his pinky. Like me. We'll just have to give it detail when we go through, I guess. You know?
Yep.
Okay. Inside all that, go back up here. And of course we'd have to choose hard perspective for me to do this in and not just some kind of T-pose, of course. Because I can't ever do anything easily, can I, Kroth?
You tend to like the hard way.
Yeah, well. That just looks awkward and weird. Even though it is just awkward and weird, but whatever. I don't know if that helps or makes it worse, but we're starting with that, and we're just gonna fucking call it good, I guess. Because what else can I do, you know? Right, Kroth?
Yep. I'm still here. Am I muted?
Nope.
No.
applications of things like fingernails. Because why the fuck not, you know? We might as well. Alright. There's his arms. His torso. We need to edit the torso just a little bit. I feel like I'm gonna do this on a new layer. I feel like this vest should come down a little bit and then go across. What do you think? You know? Have it come to the bend and down a little bit. Come in.
Well, wouldn't it interfere with his belt then?
It might. But I don't... Vests go over clothes, I thought.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, you know? Maybe not all the way down, but... What if it's just to about here? And then it comes up? Because then it comes in and then up. Like that. You know? Because torso comes out like that. And then it would be partially hidden by hand here and partially hidden by hand over here. You know?
Yep.
Let me actually just select pen. Select pen. Yes. Invert. Mask. You know? Pen. You know? So, that. No. all of the follow through, Krolth.
Yeah. That bottom seam of his vest was really sharp. Cut his finger right in half.
Mm-hmm. Something like that, maybe. Let's back up and see how it looks. Oh yeah, I like that a little bit better. Makes it look like he's not, you know, wearing boys' clothes. You know? He's not in a young man's clothes. And add another button here. Don't ask me why the buttons are shaped like this. They're just shaped like this, girl. You know? Buttons.
Okay.
And he has 5 buttons. Okay. So now, we run into the real fun. We've got a nice little torso going on here. You know?
Yep.
Hi. I'm gonna turn this down to 60%. Alright. Okay. Feel like we should take a look at our. So we have this going on here. This going on here. Comes to a point. That. This comes to a point here. Like that. Straight. Foot facing this way. Okay, so ankles and then foot. Oh, thanks, I hate it.
We'll have to stick that on your door as your mantra.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my whole door for the office. Is just thanks, I hate it.
The interns won't be scared of you.
No, not at all.
They could go right above the die mad about it.
Yep. Die mad about it. Thanks, I hate it. Nope. And I guess if you had more of a straight on, here is the kneecap. But then that kind of turns this bone awkwardly out. I think we were trying to avoid that. You know?
Yeah.
So this leg is firmly facing this direction, right? Because you got butt and you got back of the knee here. So the knee is facing this direction as well. Which means here, front, muscle in back. Which means this is going to be side of foot here. It's going to go this way. Don't ask me why I have duck feet. I just have duck feet. We could also push this farther back this way and have it come up off the ground and be like mid-stride as well. You know? Also, feet are another portrait into and of themselves. Like maybe he's shifting his weight.
Good thing we're only drawing boots.
Right? You know? So like maybe he's shifting his weight and pulling his heel off of the ground. Maybe not that far up. But like just the start of the motion where there's just like this space in between him and the ground. And then that's coming down, going back and bending that way. You know? And maybe he's starting to lift his foot off of the ground.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right that the original blue pencil drawing did kind of have the knee doing something a little awkward.
Yeah, the bones were facing in different directions, and that was no bueno. So...
It actually makes my knee hurt to look at it now.
Okay. And this, like, I want it to look like the weight is firmly on this particular foot right here. So have it be firmly planted. You know? So maybe there's more... Maybe there's more bend in this one. Like it comes down here into the trousers, right? And then more bend onto this foot that's coming off of the ground. To look like there's less weight on this leg. Maybe. I feel like it's too much now. You know? I feel like that's just too much now. I feel like this is closer to what I want, but not quite. Does that even make sense?
You want somewhere halfway in between, maybe?
Okay, so because when you start to take a step, let me see if I can find this picture in like glorious wide scale. Okay, let's see if we can scale this up. Okay, clearly not my art. Let me turn off browser source real quick. So this is the basic walk cycle, right? So when you're at rest, you're kind of like both feet together. You go into like the recoil phase and then you stop before you go into the passing phase, right? So when you go to start taking a step, your weight shifts to one leg and then you start taking a step and then you fall into it. Does that make sense? Because you like, it goes from here, you fall into that and then come down and then back up and then back down. So he's starting to take a step. So he's here. And his knees are both pointing the same way. And he's got all of his weight on this leg. So like when I'm doing this and I'm pointing my knees the same way, my ankle keeps trying to like rotate out. I know you can't see it because I'm standing, but like try it with me. So if you stand, right, and your knees are both pointing the same way, and you shift your weight onto one leg, and you go to pick up your foot, like it starts to shift outward in preparation of you taking that step. At least it does for me. Does it do the same for you?
Not so much.
So yeah, just trying to figure out what is, you know, trying to figure it out, growth. Trying to get a brain around it. Okay. So let's see if we can find some reference images for legs. They call this the power pose.
Yeah, that's the other reason why it reminds me of Tinker. It's Tinker before he plays Phasmophobia. Too bad he's not here to make fun of.
I guess. Something like this, maybe? You know? It's not quite what I was going for, but maybe?
Wow, he's got his legs a long way apart.
He does. He's got them spread really wide, which I was not going for the extremely wide spread legs. But
his heels are actually a little bit in, his toes are a little bit out, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it could be worse. It could be this one. Just extremely spread legs. But that's also like full on, like full frontal kind of view, which is not what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I guess as far as the amount of body that you're seeing, this one is kind of in line with what we're doing, but we're tilted a little more extremely, and so this would be foreshortened and you'd see more of the curve of the back of the leg. So I guess we would turn that a little bit that way and see more of that. But again, the legs are doing strange things.
Well, this person has a lot skinnier legs than your person.
You know, I think this kind of thing was really what I was trying to go for with the legs. It's like you see more of the leg and it's coming down into the knee, and then it's going back into the foot, and then that one's coming out a little bit, and the weight is resting mostly on this leg. You know? I can see where like this is doing that sort of thing on this side. It's just this other leg that I'm just fucking confused about, I guess.
Yeah.
Know what I mean, Burn?
I know what you mean.
Especially since, like, I don't know. It's not like I can find girl references because women are forced to do strange things with their legs anyway. Because they're fucking women. And apparently no matter what we do, we have to be sexy.
I see.
Yes, that was said with disdain because, god damn it. I don't know. I don't feel like this has enough, like, weight on that leg to be doing this, but could be. Could be doing something like this. You know, this has the right amount of, like, turn to the leg. I don't know how I found goth pants models, but apparently when you're shopping for goth pants, they just Photoshop out the entire goth person that's wearing them and leave you with just the pants.
Or maybe the pants are stiff enough that they just stand up on their own.
You might be right. You might be right indeed. But, like, the goth pants seem to be a heck of a lead, because look at this one. Look at that one. Closer, right? Closer to what I was looking for. Maybe we should just Google image search for goth pants. 3/4 view goth pants. It did bring up a lot of goth pants that just don't have any models in them. They're just completely chopped away the models. That's great. I'm just gonna hide that from you again. Them's my pants. You can't have them. They're going on my other page. I would show you the statue of David, however, yeah. He's a bit, not safe for work. You know?
Yeah.
And I know that we're marked as mature, but the David is still not safe for work, so no David for you. Also, this, while not safe for work, is entirely what I'm thinking of when I think about feet. It's just like how all of this shit connects, you know? Because
Well, that's just the muscle tone, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got those in your legs, you know? And you notice the fattest part of this muscle is lower over here than it is over here. Because you have less of the muscle sticking out, and so it goes in a this way sort of direction up here, which I was talking about last time, and then it goes in a that way sort of direction down there. This way over here, that way over there, and it's in opposite lands. So, because when you draw things, you have to understand how they work, and right now we've got a mild understanding of how things work. Pretty general, like, you know, general understanding of how all this is going on, right? We've got a fairly good understanding of that. This shit, however, is a goddamn mystery. So that is what is going on down here, right? We don't know what he's got in his pants. We don't even know if he's got legs in his pants at this point because, I mean, look at that. Look at that. What? Those aren't legs. You know? So. He might have tentacles in those boots. We don't know. And yeah, I should probably be in incognito mode for some of the search terms that I am throwing in here. So recently Clip Studio had a sale, and I was so tempted to get the EX version because you can let me just show you. You can download these great things. So let's go to assets here. If it'll load. Who knows if it'll load? So, right now, we just have one that's not safe for work, but again. So, you can download these 3D models, right? That have lines all over them for referencing, for foreshortening and all of that, right? I'm just giving you a vague idea.
Okay.
So I'll show you with this one because it's a head. Oh, it's fine. Okay. Should bring up pictures, right? So this is the puppet head, right? It has the proportions of the head. All it's really missing from this section here is the circle that shows you that the sides of your head are more flat than they are round. So typically in figure drawing, people will draw it with a circle here with the cross through there. Shows you the position of where the eyes should be, where the ears should be, all of that. Now imagine that on the entire figure. And then when you try to turn it or position it in 3D space, then it just, you know, adjusts all the lines and you can easily see where you're supposed to be foreshortening. So, you know, things like that are lovely. You can't use it in the base version of the Clip Studio. It's more meant for when you're like hardcore trying to draw things and do comics and speed is key. So 3D cat. Actually, I really like that. Sorry, I'm in the middle of the internet now.
Must pull Mako back from the internet.
Does this count as like... I don't know if that counts. I don't know if these count as nudity or not. They're just they don't even have like bits, you know?
Okay.
I don't know if it counts. I mean, I don't think it would count because it's dolls and there's no nips. You know what I mean? But like this guy right here. You see him?
Yep.
I would love to have one of these, honestly, but I don't. These are really expensive ones because they show you all like the muscle and everything. I'm not putting the lady on there. Stop it. But yeah, that sort of thing. I think it's called Bodycoon. Bodycoon and Bodychan. See? You got man boobs here, part of the torso, the cant of the hips, and you can see kind of the line of action coming through. Which is not what we're doing with ours, no. Mm-mm. We could give him the pelvic glue. But, kind of unnecessary. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, and that guy's elbow was more back, whereas our guy's elbow was more to the side.
Yep. Ours is doing more chicken wings. Oh. Yeah.
By the way, did you see the hydrate that I put up like an hour ago?
Nope. Nope, didn't see it. Nobody mentioned it either. Hey, Growth redeemed a hydrate. Surprise! So, but we're doing good. We are making progress, and that is what is important. Even if we can't fucking figure out what we're doing with these legs. You know?
I think you're getting there more.
Yeah. Let's make a new layer. Alright, so what if... Alright, Sarah, stay with me here. Stay with me. Alright. So we have the hip that is like this, canted that way, right? So right now, it's more in. I don't know, growth. I don't know what we're doing, but we're doing it. And we're trying real hard to do it. So this makes that. Do something like this.
I think part of the problem is that, like, everything north of his inseam is at one aspect, and then everything south of it is kind of at a different aspect.
That's what we're trying to figure out right now, is figuring out what way everything is facing, because right now the torso is like this, so the hips need to also be doing that sort of thing, so like that. Even if they're tilted, they still need to be doing that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Actually make this back here. So even if he's tilting his hips, which, are we tilting them back, or would we be tilting them forward? Like, or more neutral, you know? Would he be just more neutral like this? You know? if he's more neutral, then we have this leg down here. We could do that. Then this leg would have more room to do whatever the hell it's doing. For some reason, I kind of like the idea of the foot facing two separate ways, and I don't know why I like that. Knee is pointed this way, knee is pointed directly at us, you know?
Yeah, well, it kind of mimics what he's doing with his elbows, too.
Mm-hmm. Because he, well, even if we like moved this foot over this way, right? Move the foot over here and still had it facing forward, which at that point it would still have like a little bit of a tilt to it. I don't know. Because then you would have like this whole meaty cylinder like right here. Of course you would have Captain Underpants going on. You know?
Yeah.
Because you would have one leg facing out this way. And then, wow. I don't know. What do we think? I feel like that's more normal, even though I feel like this leg is still a little bit off. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So even if we just like moved it out a little bit. Too much closer to that. That would give him like a wider base to be standing on. And it would kind of align along with the fact that his leg is coming out from there. You know? The middle of his hips or whatever.
Yeah.
Right here.
I think the foot might be turned a little too far, but...
Yeah, I think so. It would depend on what we're doing with the knees. So if we have knee here, right, facing that direction, right, you have that. So yeah, something like that. I don't like this foot now. Funny how that works. I don't like that foot now. Okay. It's not archy enough. So this ankle should be about here, which would put the bottom of the foot there. Like that. Then you have that. So you would have this, this. I don't know. I feel like okay, so I think maybe just straight flat would be a bad idea. But if it's coming down like this, right? Then you have, I don't know, growth.
Right, just a second here. I make you full screen so I can't see the chat window anymore.
Oh, okay.
Makes it easier to see the finer detail.
His feet are facing kind of out, opposite each other. And even though this knee is facing forward, maybe less of an angle like this. More foreshortening. Like here. This come out that way. This come out that way. You know? So we can do this foot in profile if we wanted, right? But then it's completely in profile. I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
So we have... So we're gonna have this leg coming in. Down. So either it's coming out like that. You know? Flat that way. Side view. So it'll either be side view, or it's going to be like a 3/4 view. You see that. So it can just be like a flat side view. It can be like a 3/4 view. It can be a steeper view. Right? So it's even more of the shoe. Oh, more of the top of the shoe showing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like this shows like a rotation going that way. So you go from this to that, and then the more that it turns toward the front, the more of the front of the box that you see, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if you think about the foot as just like a box shape, then what rotation of this one would match? Because right now you have the leg box shape is currently doing this sort of thing, doing that thing, and then coming down like this, doing that sort of thing. So maybe this sort of angle for the top of the foot.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
You know? So you have that going on. I don't know. Because you can see this top plane of the leg and then the inner plane of the leg. You know? They're in like a cylinder like that. Even here, you still see it. So if you see that, you would still probably see it here to a certain extent, where this is the shin bone coming down, which would lead to like this sort of box shape here. So something more like that. Obviously, this is gonna have to be a little bit on the longer side because it's a foot. But something like that.
Okay. Yeah, and I noticed those legs are getting a little shorter than what we had originally measured out.
Yeah, it's because they're bent. He's not standing like fully straight up and down. His legs are slightly bent, and so they come a little higher than they did before because they are slightly bent. Whereas before, they were not bent. Not near as much. You see?
Yep.
So. Oh, Lord Almighty. Okay. Da 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 da. Alright, Tom. Everything on Tom is gonna go to about 66%. So that we can see our be right back.
Okay. I actually probably need to go.
You're not allowed to leave. I have no idea what you think you're doing, but you're not allowed to leave. We are going to mask off all of this, though. Select, invert, mask. Okay. So now Tom, come back up to 70. Okay. So that's my be right back, because I have to go potty. I will be right back.
Okay.
Don't forget to save.
Yep.
Alright, we just saved. Be right back. Growth, keep them entertained. Demand it.
Oh, right. It's not often I get to talk to Mako's people. So, who do we have out there tonight? Oh boy, it just dropped down to one viewer. But yeah, this is work that we're doing for a video game design that we're coming up with. Just the basic models and stuff for.
I'm back.
Mako's back.
Yay, I'm back.
Welcome back, Mako.
Thanks, you chased them all away. How dare you?
Yeah, I said, so who do we have out there tonight? And then it went down to one.
Yep, sounds about right. I'm surprised it was at 2, but, you know, it's okay. Alright, so. Honestly, I feel like stopping right there. Because it's 11. We've been going for an hour and a half. Which is good for an art stream. Don't you think?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Then I'm going to save again.
Especially since how we got such a late start on it.
I'm sorry. But next time. Okay. Next time, Krolf will remember to be harder on the Mako and get me to start streaming on time. Because I cannot be trusted to do it by myself on art nights, apparently. Because I'm self-conscious. So, thank you everybody so much for joining me. Thank you, Krolf, for being here with me and pushing me to stream. And,
You're welcome.
I hate the pockets. We're gonna fix those next time.
Okay.
Alright. Bye, everybody.
Bye.